Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back to another Logging from Scratch episode. So this time around, I think we're going to play with the dangle loader. I think it's about time we bring that guy out and test it for loading up the Clambunk. I have not, I have not tried to load with the dangle grapple saw yet, so this could be a bit of an adventure for all of us, but I think it'll turn out good. So what I'm going to do is bring this guy over there. Now, we do have all those piles that we did create with the buncher there. So those need to be processed as well before we can start clam bunking them out. But for now, I think we are going to just try to load one up and see how it goes. I think it'll go just fine, but you never know. It seems like on all the episodes of the different swamp logging shows I've witnessed, the dangle claw seems to be the popular thing that they use to load up these Clambunk skidders with, so I think it's about time we give that a shot. Give it a shot, try it out, see how it goes. So I think my plan is, I was looking at this earlier today, and I think my plan is I'm going to clear out everything in this loop on this road, on this side past where we started. I think that's going to be the territory which I will play in, and then after that's done, I think it's time we move on to a new map after that. I mean, we could play on this map probably for the rest of our lives if we really wanted to. It's so big and there's so many different areas. I think we'll just kind of come back and forth to different parts as we go. So let's put this about here, maybe? Sure. And let's try out the dangle grapple saw here and see how she goes. Again, this is very much beta testing right now, so this could go either way, but we're going to try it. So let's push this a little bit this way. Maybe give it a little more bump on that side. There we go. Oops. Oh, jeez. This part's definitely easier with a fixed head. Oh, jeez. There we go. Close enough. Good enough for me. Now, is that open all the way it can be? Ah, that's what I thought. Thought we could get more out of that. Alright, so let's start with this back row, I guess. I think there's logs over here somewhere, isn't there? Fish these guys out. So now what I kind of wanted to do was put these thin ones in their own pile for now. I just don't know where to put them. Let's just throw them right here. Anything that we find that's like the little logs, we're going to put right here. For now. And I think these ones are all teeny-weeny little guys here, too. Oh, wow. There's a lot in there. Holy. Well, there's probably one that we bucked up and I was showing off that saw in that one video, too. There we go. Bloop. Pile all that crap there. And I imagine there's still a few more up here. Lock that, bring it up there. I use the locking straps also to cheat when I'm moving the logs so they don't slide out of the grapple. Lots of uses for those straps, I'm telling you. Throw these. Oops, bring them up a little bit. There we go. Now, I think I can still see silhouettes of logs down here, though. Oh, yeah, I can. I was like, it looks like logs, but I don't know. I think there's one right in here, too. Yep, there we go. It's funny, you can just kind of barely see them under the surface of the water. Adds a whole new element of loading knowledge, because you got to know kind of where they are based on the silhouettes. Now, are we just down to the big ones here now? I think so. Yeah, these are the big guys. Okay, so what I want to do is actually, this is actually a bad way I've parked this right now. It's actually a good picture, though. It's random. So I actually want to park this a bit up from the pile, I think I remember now. Getting used to Clambunk skidding is not an easy thing, because we don't want to be loading on top of our pile. Oh, is there a stump here I'm hitting? Wow, it's a violent stump apparently. There we go. That way we're loading them kind of across and back, as opposed to... I'm going to drop these and move up here a bit. Back and across, as opposed to pulling them over top of themselves, which we don't want. So we'll lock those up. We're going to slide these into here. I want to give that a little bump. Just a little bump. It's so weird going from fixed head to dangle claws, but I enjoy both. Now that I've found a way to make these work half decently, I actually really enjoy using dangle grapples. Now I just got to get attachable heads for both the forwarder and the self-loading truck there. But I think the self-loader truck's going to get a makeover, so I think I'm just going to change that out entirely. The body's going to get a makeover anyway. Oops. I pincered that guy right in there, didn't we? Let's see if we can make that sit up right there. Something satisfying about loading with a dangle grapple too. The best is when you're doing shorts, and there's just crap tons of shorts. That's why I kind of like the little trees, like the really thin trees, for doing shorts. You just grab these huge bundles of logs, and it just looks incredible. Oops, that was different. Let's see if we can make that slide back this way now. I want to know what's going on with my dangle head here. I just want them to slide this way a bit. There we go, like that. Oh, and I see our logs are trying to slip off the back of the truck here, so that's good. Here, let's go like this. We're going to do a kind of a cheat maneuver here. That's why it's better to have two guys when you're using a Clambunk, because one guy can be locking the load, like when you throw them on there. So then when you add more to it, they're not gonna go slipping away on you. But it's all good. We'll get her figured here. I don't think this one's locked. Oops. So we'll slide this one right out of there. We're actually gonna just add it to this pile, I think. Oh no, we'll be able to whip it around here. Oops. Yeah, I think piling's a lot easier than doing this type of loading, but there we go. My other failure that I have when I'm using these dangle grapples is that this part of the head rotates. So I'm always finding myself raising and lowering and closing it when I wish it would just kind of stay in one spot there. But alright, so we're going to lock that up. You know what? I feel as though we should be able to reach from this pile back here and slide them up. There's still a couple little guys down here, it looks like. Throw that in here. Oh yeah, look at all these. Man, we have so many tiny pieces. That's funny. We must have been cutting 12s or something, because I don't remember 15s creating these small ones. But I could be wrong. I think I've been wrong at least one other time in my life. Oh, that's a good grab. Look at that one. Woohoo! Oops, we don't really want to go in that way, though. I want it right in the middle. Alright, how are we looking here? Is that kind of a full-ish load? I guess we could kick them out. What I could do with these, with this grapple too, I think I might make the grapple a little bit bigger on the Clambunk, a little bit taller claws. So I was watching a video of one of those the other day, and they vary in size between the different types of skidders, but they seem to be a little bit bigger in the videos I was watching. Oops. Stay there. No, don't do that. Bad log. Man, get in there. Oh, it's just slipping right off that edge. All right, well, I guess that'll be a load where they all slide off here. That's a pretty decent sized load anyway. It's an amazing machine. You can almost get like a, you can almost get like a full load of, like a full truckload off of one of these Clambunk skids. It's crazy. I'm always constantly looking physics-wise on how to improve this guy, but I don't really know what else I can do. I was thinking maybe lowering the Clambunk a bit so it doesn't sit quite as high. Because I don't honestly think it needs to sit that high. Because those logs don't really touch that back tire. Sorry, oops, I'm so busy looking at my load, I'm going to drive into the woods here. I think I could lower it by at least a few inches for sure. Which would give you a little bit more precision when you're loading. In real life, the friction on these makes it so they don't slide around, but in this game, it's a little bit different. So now we're going to go all the way around our little loop here. Well, yeah, we got topic of the day. Topic of the day. Oh, here's an interesting one. This one was sent in to me by somebody again. College degree versus trades. Now, that's an interesting topic. So, should you get a college degree or should you go in the trades field? That's an interesting, interesting one. So, trades being things like becoming, a plumber, red seal mechanic, that kind of stuff. College degree being, getting a bachelor's in something, I assume, or like, a degree of some kind in some kind of field. Personally, I think job security-wise, trades is the way to go. That doesn't necessarily mean that the other's better than, getting a degree. If you have a good field that you can move into and some kind of and you're just missing a degree and that's all it's really needed, then definitely a degree is the way to go. But I think if you don't have a lot of skill set, I think trades are the better field to get into because you have better job security and a lot of times better earnings. I've had lots of friends go take these intense bachelor courses and all these different crazy things and then end up just being like an electrician by the end of it because their, political degree didn't work out for them. Well, I'm a prime example. I took a degree, or I don't know what you would call it, I don't know what it was. Some people call it master's, but I call it a degree in acoustical engineering or audio engineering. And yeah, as cool as that was, I had a great time and it was fun and all, but that didn't end up being my occupation at all. I'm working more in a IT-based field now than I ever thought I would be. But I think a lot of people start off with a good impression of what they want, or a good intention at least of what they want, and then they end up kind of maybe into a field where they didn't think they were going to end up. So I always used to ask my bus driver that, because my bus driver a long, long time ago, or one of my bus drivers, I had multiple, he was planning on being a geothermal engineer for a mine and ended up driving buses, and preferred it in the end. So I was like, just goes to show, I guess you never really know what you're going to end up doing if the fate changes. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys do? Do you guys have trades in anything? Do you have a degree, a bachelor's, some kind of special certification in a field? And do you prefer having something a little more tradesy, or would you prefer to have something a little more officey? I always use my two biggest comparisons are always like a plumber versus a psychiatrist, right? That's trades versus degrees right there. Yeah. But yeah, there's all kinds of different things to get into. And nowadays, like, I remember when I was coming out of school, like, most people were like, if you don't graduate high school, you're never going to get a good job. You're never going to get anything, You have to graduate high school. I mean, most of us in our classes graduated high school, like we all did. But I found you don't necessarily need to have, and this isn't. I'm not like suggesting people don't finish school, because I mean, getting your graduation is a great experience, and you learn a lot of stuff, and it's a good accomplishment to have. So, I mean, don't look at me like I'm discouraging the fact that people should go to school or anything, but I think a lot of the jobs, at least that I've gotten myself, have never come from any of the schooling that I've done, like at all, including graduation. Nobody, I can't remember the last time, I don't know, maybe it's different for you guys, but can any of you remember the last time you applied for a job and they're like, oh, can I see your graduation papers from high school? It's just not a thing that you see, right? So when I always hear people being like, oh, that person didn't even graduate high school, and it's like, yeah, I know. Most of the people I know that didn't graduate high school still make more money than I do, so they ended up in trades or fields or whatever the case, and it worked out for them. So I am an advocate for education. Like, I do think education is the best thing in the world. I think it's fantastic to learn and to train with really good people. I'm definitely an on-hands training kind of person. I want to work with an expert in that field. I want to, learn from him the best way to do my job from a person who's experienced. I am not the kind of person that likes to sit in a classroom offhands, learning something and just, be like, whatever, kind of, that's something we do. And I like to be on hands, on site, working on stuff and learning. And once I learn it, I mean, it's pretty much there forever. That's kind of how I am with modding too, right? I could sit and watch how to mod videos all day long and learn, some information, but unless I'm actually applying it while I'm modding, I don't really take it in as well. And that's just me in general. I mean, everybody has a different learning curve, right? But I find the best learning comes from on-hand stuff. So when people say like, oh, this guy doesn't have a passing, diploma for graduation, he must be an idiot. And it's like, yeah, but maybe he's also amazing in his field. I know lots of guys that make, upwards of $150,000 a year, and they never graduated high school. They never even went to secondary school. They just learned on their own. With the way information is these days, like with YouTube and with, tutorials and things that go on, you can pretty much do whatever you really want if you have the ambition behind it. And that goes for even things like I'm doing here with YouTube and modding and all this stuff. Like, this has gotten so big now, and I never ever expected it to get this big, and I never really planned it to get this big. It was just a hobby, right? But it just goes to show, if you have the ambition to make something work and you're doing it for you because you want to do it, you really can accomplish pretty much anything you want. It's pretty wild. I always send that recommendation to everybody. I get lots of people emailing me, like fans and stuff, and they say, what did you do to get to where you are? And I say, I don't know. A lot of the times I'm like, I'm not sure. It just worked out. But it's just hard work, If you want, you have to love what you're doing. Like, you really do. You have to show interest in it. If I didn't care about logging, like if I wasn't a logging fan, obviously this wouldn't have been the field for me. This would have been, I would have zonked out early on and not really gotten anywhere with it. Oops, I do want to fix that one log. I wouldn't have gotten anywhere with it because I would have been, bored of it by now. But the fact that I don't get bored by it, I just keep rocking it. I'm able to develop and become better and better and better. And yeah, then it becomes the thing, right? But I think a lot of people try to jump into fields. They see other people successful in a field or a thing that they're doing. They see success happening, accumulating, and instead of being interested in what it is that person's doing, like, they don't really care about what it is. They just want to be successful, right? So they try to jump on board with these different things thinking, oh, I can be successful too. I want to do exactly what that guy's doing. But it might not be something you're passionate about. So maybe you won't be as successful because you're not having that same degree of passion about that particular thing, right? So I always recommend people who want to be successful, work on the things you love and don't give up on them if you really want to make something out of it. Just keep rocking it. And it takes time and patience and stress. And some things work out and some things don't, you know? Some things you think will be the most successful thing you've ever done, and they turn out not to be, right? And then you gotta go back to the drawing board and see where you went wrong or what you want to change about it. Just like this load I'm doing right now. It's coming together very slowly, but it may not be the most best thing I've ever done. Let's loop around to this side here. Clean up these last little bits. I'm actually I'm kind of running close on my video here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one grab, but we're not gonna bring this load back on this episode. We're just gonna kind of get it loaded onto this bad boy. I know I said we were gonna do these. I kind of need to pocket these guys on top of the load because I just realized I was planning on doing them like on their own as a side project here, but I'm like, oh man, I don't think that's gonna work because I don't think these guys are stable enough to transport on their own. Plus, they're just ugly as sin. Look at these logs. Just fugly. So let's kerplunk these guys on here. Right in here. I'm just going to leave that there for a minute while we lock it. That one's going to fall off. That's okay. All right, so let's just leave that there the way it is right now, and when we come back, we'll keep kind of skidding stuff out. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video here, so if you guys like the video, leave a like, leave a comment. Do not forget to subscribe, and if you're in the bush, don't forget to hug a tree. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.